Hello students and welcome back to another class. Today we are done with the parts of speech. So today we'll be doing a very important aspect of English grammar and vocabulary. This is what makes or breaks a sentence. Very important stuff. Please do pay very careful attention across this chapter because we are finally doing tenses. Hello and welcome, and without further ado, let's get started. So what does tenses mean? Tenses in English grammar, tense is the time of a verb's action or state of being, such as present, past, or future. That means whenever a work is being done, whenever a work is being undertaken, whenever an event is happening, at what time is it happening? Is it happening currently? Has it already happened? Is it going to happen tomorrow? Is it going to happen at a later duration? So there can only be three options, right? So whenever something is happening, either it is happening right now, or it has already happened, or it is going to happen. There are only three time spaces that we can work around. There's no fourth. If you do find one, let me know. I'll make sure you get the Nobel Prize. But till the time that does not happen, we have three tenses, that is present tense, which is what is happening right now, past tense, which is what has already happened, and future tense, which is what is going to happen. For example, if Vivan is cooking food, right, and I say that Vivan cooks food, this is present tense because he's doing it. If I say Vivan cooked food, this is past tense because it has happened. And if I say Vivan will cook food, it is future tense. All right. So something that is happening currently is present tense. Something that has already happened is past, and something that is going to happen, that will happen, is future tense. So these are the three types of tense: past, future, and present. Past is something that has already happened, right? Future tense is something that will happen, and present tense is something that is currently happening. All right. So these are the three types of tenses that we have. And so yeah, let's begin with present tense. So present tense is a verb that refers to something happening currently, right? For example, Sachin plays cricket. As simple as that. Sachin plays cricket. Sachin is under the process of playing cricket. So it is a present tense, and it can be further divided into four subtypes. The first one is simple present, present simple test, right? Simple present expresses the a habitual or a routine action, and the sentence structure for it is subject plus first form of verb plus s slash es, depending upon what the word ends with, plus object. Right. So, like for the simplest example is Ram kills Ravan. All right. Subject, the first form of verb plus s, and object. He reads the book. He is the subject here. Read is the verb, first form. S we have added. The book is the object. All right. So subject plus verb plus s plus o. Right. So here he is the subject. Reads is the first form verb plus s, and the book is the object. Similarly, they write a letter. They is the subject. Write is the verb. A letter is the object. I teach you. I am the subject. Teach is the verb. You are the object. Right. Mohit does not play the guitar. Mohit is subject. Playing is verb. Guitar is the object. Do you go to the temple? Right. Temple is the object. You are the subject, and go is the verb, the first form. Right. So this is how simple present works. Subject plus v1, that is first form of the verb, plus s slash es wherever needed, plus o, that is object. Moving on, the next type is present continuous tense. Present continuous is used to express when the action is in progress, when something is happening currently, right? Something that is happening as we speak, happening current, which has been happening, which is happening currently. For example, he is reading the book, right? So as I speak, he is reading the book. I can see that he's reading the book, and the structure for this is subject plus is, am, or are, depending upon whatever the subject is, and the first form of verb here again, plus gerund, that is ing, because you have to use gerund to explain something that is currently happening, continuous, plus object. So this is the formula. This is the structure of how the present continuous tense works, and he is reading the book is a prime example. In this example, he is the subject, reading is the first form of verb plus ing, read plus ing, and the book is an object. If you look at some more examples, we can see that they are writing, they is the subject plus is mr plus first form of verb plus ing plus a letter, right? I am teaching you. I is the subject, am is the word imr, teach is the first form plus ing, teaching, you are the object. Mohit is not playing the guitar, Mohit is the subject, playing is the verb, is we have used because Mohit, we are talking about third person, and guitar is the object. Playing, verb 1 first form plus ing, the gerund. And are you going to temple? Are is the subject, you sorry, are you is the subject, going, and ismr is replaced here, so it goes before it. Going, go plus ing is the v plus gerund form, and to temple, temple is the object. So this is how present continuous tense works when we have to tell, when we have to explain about something that is happening as we speak. As you are speaking something that is happening currently, you use present continuous tense, and the it will always be in the form of subject plus is slash m slash r plus the first form of verb plus the gerund, that is ing, plus object. The third form of tense is present perfect tense. Present perfect tense lets you know that the work has just been completed. Immediate effect. The action is completed, but it has been completed with a present effect. Basically, you can put it that something that has been completed just now, and as it is completed, it might, it's just lingering on the border of past and present. Like the work has been completed, but it has been completed just now, right? So we'll be using this with present tense itself, but here we use the third form of the verb, that is past participle, right? So we'll be using the past form of the verb to explain something that is happening in the present time. Let's have a look at it with an example. He has read the book. It means he has just completed reading the book. The sentence is structured like subject plus has slash have, right? Which is then followed by the third form of the verb, that is the past participle form, plus object, right? So this is how a present perfect tense sentence is constructed, wherein he has read the book. If you look at the example, he is the subject, read is the third form of verb, and book is the object. We have also used has because that is the form related with the subject. Some more examples, if you're going by the ones that we have done earlier. They have written a letter. They have just completed writing a letter. They have written, the third form, letter. I have taught you. I, subject, have, taught is the third form, you are the object. Mohit has not played the guitar. Mohit is the subject, has played is the third form, and guitar is the object. Similarly, have you gone to temple? You are the subject, gone is the verb, going, gone, gone, go, going, gone, and temple is the object, right? So this is how we use present perfect tense. Subject plus has slash have depending upon the subject. Third form of verb, that is V3, the past participle form, plus object. The fourth and the final subtype of present tense is the present perfect continuous tense, and pay very close attention to it. It is the one that has the most perturbance. It is the one that troubles the students the most. So basically it expresses an action that started in the past, right? So this is the action that is happening, and it started here. It started at this point. This is the start point, and this is the end point. So either the action is somewhere in between, or it has just reached here. When these cases happen, this is when we use present perfect continuous. Either it is already, either the action is already happening, it is midway, or it has just completed, right? For this, we use subject plus has slash have plus been, very important, plus first form of verb plus ing plus object, and most importantly, after object it's followed by since or for, because we also have to tell how long they have been doing it. We have to also add time to it, right? So this is the sentence structure for present perfect continuous. And if you look at the above example, he has been reading the book since morning. He is the subject, has been reading, first form of verb plus ing. The book is the object, and since we use it, since, right, and time. So time is denoted here by morning, all right. So this is how present perfect continuous tense works. They have been writing a letter for 20 minutes. So it has been 20 minutes, they are still writing it. I have been teaching you since January. We started in January, we are still going. Mohit has not been playing guitar. Mohit did not play guitar earlier, right? And he is also not doing it so far right now. Have you been going to the temple? Like the question remains the same. Earlier also I did not know whether or not you were going. Now also I do not know, right? So if you look at it, they is the subject, have been, we have already used have plus been, writing v1 plus ing, letter is the object, for since slash for 20 minutes is the time. So this is how present perfect continuous tense works. Something, an action that is either going on or has just completed, but it started in the past. And that is how, and this is where we use present perfect continuous tense, right? So these are the four types of present tenses: simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. Let's move on to the next part, that is past tense. So what is past tense? Anything that has already happened. Already happened, done and dusted, buried the hatchet, right? Anything that has, so if I am here, this is the timeline, and if I am here, right, this is me, and anything that is behind this, all of this is past. This is the past tense, right? So a verb that refers to something that has already happened is said to be in past tense. For example, Sachin played cricket, now he is retired, right? So he used to play, he does not play anymore. This is how we denote past tense. Like present tense, past tense also has four types, and the same subtypes we will be seeing here. Simple past. Simple past expression is an action that started in the past and also finishes in the past, right? So it expresses, it also expresses the past habitual actions. The structure for it is simple subject plus v2, that is the second form of the verb, plus object. As simple as that, nothing, doesn't get easier. For example, he read the book. He is the subject, read is the second form of verb, and the book is the object. Right? If you look at some more examples, they wrote a letter. They are the subject, wrote is the second form of verb, and letter is the object. I taught you. I am the subject, taught is the second form of verb, you are the object. Mohit is the subject, did not play the guitar. Play is the second form of verb, and guitar is the object. Did you go to the temple? You are the subject. Should be did you went to the temple, right? Just correct it. Did you went to the temple? So went is the second form and temple is the object, right? So this is how simple past works: subject plus second form of verb plus object. Moving on, we have past continuous tense. So past continuous describes actions or events in a time before now, which began in the past and is still going on at the time of speaking. It might happen that I do not know what exactly is happening right now, but I do know what I saw last. So this is speaking from experience POV. When last I saw someone, they were doing something. When last I did something, it was happening, right? Uh, as far as the speaker is concerned, the event is true and still continuous as of now. So that is being used in past continuous tense. The structure for it is subject plus was slash were plus first form of verb plus ing, the return of ing plus object. So this is the structure for past continuous tense. For example, he was reading the book. Last I saw him, he was reading the book. He is the subject, was reading, that is v1 plus ing, and the book, that is the object, right? Similarly, if you look at these, they were writing a letter. They are the subject. I've used verb because it is plural, right? Writing v1 plus ing, letter, object. I was teaching you. I'm the subject. Was teaching v1 plus ing. You are the object. Mohit was not playing the guitar. Why are you going to the temple? All these cases are past continuous tense, and they'll always be structured as subject plus was slash were. If it is a singular subject, then was would be used. If it's a plural, we'll use verb, subject plus was slash verb plus first form of verb plus ing, that is playing, eating, giving, running, plus object, right? This is how you write past continuous tense. The third form of past tense is the past perfect tense, and it indicates that the action was completed at some time in the past before something happened. If you look at it from the timeline, this is me. This is the event starting, right? This is the event ending, completing, and this is event 2, right? So this is event 1 started and event 1 ended. Event 2 has already happened. I am standing in front of it. So these are all in the past. And when I'm talking about the event 1 now, I will use past perfect tense. For example, he had read the book, right? So if I have to structure it, he is a subject plus had plus read. Read is the third form of the verb, past participle form, V3 plus object. As simple as that, right? He had read the book. In this example, he is the subject, read is the third form of verb, and book is the object. Similarly, they had written a letter. They are the subject, had written is the third form, letter is the object. I had taught you, I am the subject, had taught is the third form, you are the object. Mohit is the subject, had not played, V3, guitar, object. Had you, had is already used here. You is the subject, gone is the V3, and temple is the object. Always remember to use the past participle whenever you are using perfect, whether it is past, present, or future. We'll get to that later when we will be summing up the chapter. But yeah, in past perfect tense, we'll always write subject plus had, very important, always use had, plus third form of the verb plus object, right? The fourth and final section of the past tense is past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous is describing an ongoing action and continued for some time in the past. So it started here, event 1, it went on, right? I don't know, I am here, I don't know for how long it went on, right? I do know, but yeah, I'll just tell them. Just a minute, I see here there has been a problem here. All right, sorry about that. Right? So, and it continued for some time in the past, right? And when I've been telling about it, when I, who is now in the present, when I'll tell about it, that this work that happened and kept on going, like we did in the present tense, then I'll use past perfect continuous, right? So the formula for it, the sentence structure for it is subject plus had been, all right? Had plus been plus first form of the verb plus ing plus object plus since slash for, as we learned earlier, and followed by time. This is how the perfect continuous tense works, as you know, right? And right, so this is how it works. This is how the past perfect continuous tense works. Subject plus had been plus v1 plus ing plus object plus since slash for or time. In this example, he had been reading the book since morning. He had been, so he had been is covered. Reading, first form plus ing. The book, that is the object. Since, from since and for, and morning for is the time, right? They had been writing a letter for 20 minutes. I had been teaching you since January. Mohit had not been playing the guitar. Have you been going to the temple, right? So they had been, there is the subject, had been writing v1 plus ing, letter is the object, for is from the since for, and 20 minutes is the time. Similarly, I had been teaching you since January, right? So this is how past perfect continuous tense works, something that has already happened in the past that continued to happen for a particular time duration and when I standing in the present will talk about it, I'll use this structure. I'll say it is subject plus had been plus first form of verb plus ing plus object plus since or for plus time. This is how I will structure a past perfect continuous subject sentence. Moving on, we have future tense. Future tense is basically something that is yet to happen. All right, so something that will happen, has not happened now, will happen. All right, so far it has not happened. Wherever this happens, we will be using in the future tense. For example, Sachin will play cricket. He will play cricket, that we know. He is not playing right now, he has not played earlier, but he will play cricket, that is no. So when I'll be saying stuff like these, I'll be using the future tense. Like present and past, it also has four sub sections. The first is simple future. It refers to a time that is later than now and expresses facts or certainty. Always remember, this is very important, facts or certainty, right? So we'll be using subject plus will slash shall. We'll always use will or shall for future tense, plus first form of verb plus object. As simple as that. Nothing beats it, right? So he will read the book. He's not reading right now, but he will read it in future. He is the subject, will, read is the first form, the book is the object. As simple as that, right? He reads object. Never forget to add will. He will read, right? And yeah, some more examples. They will write a letter. There is the subject, will we have used, write as the first form verb, letter is the object. I shall teach you, I am the subject, shall I have used, teach is the first form verb, you are the object. Mohit will not play the guitar, we will not go to the temple. Similarly, subject plus will slash shall plus first form of verb plus object. This is how you work with simple future. Next up, we have future continuous tense. Future continuous tense is used to express an ongoing or continued action which will occur at some time in the future. So I know I am standing here. I know that event 1 will start at this place and it will go on at least until this place, and it is still in the future on the timeline. And when I have to talk about this, I will be using future continuous tense, right? So, and the structure for this is subject plus will shall, as I've already told you, plus first form of verb plus ing, because continuous cannot go without gerund, that is ing. And this is the structure, the formula for future continuous tense. He will be reading the book. He, subject, will be reading, v plus ing, the book, object, right? As you can see here as well. They will be writing a letter. They is the subject, will be, writing is v1 plus ing, and a letter is the object. I shall be teaching, I am the subject, shall be, teaching is v1 plus ing, and you are the object. So this is how future continuous tense works. The third type of future tense is future perfect. Future perfect indicates that on the same timeline, if I look at it, this is me, this is event 1 starting, this is event 2 ending, and I know the time between it. The time is known, all right? But all of this is in future, so even if I do know, I cannot say, I just can say with certainty this will happen. I have not seen it happen, nor is it happening right now, so I'll be using future perfect tense, right? For example, he will have read the book. See, it's a book, it's a small book, I know it takes 2 hours to read it, so I'll say that if he starts at 11, he would have read the book by 1. When I'm doing this, I'm using future perfect tense, right? And it is written in the form of subject plus will shall, like I've told earlier, plus have, plus again v3. Always, every perfect tense will be using past participle form plus object. So this is the structure for future perfect tense. He will have read the book. In the example, he is the subject, will have, read is the third form of verb, and book is the object. Similarly, they will have written a letter. They are subject, will have, written is v3, and letter is object. I shall have taught you. I am the subject, shall have, taught is v3, you is object. Mohit is subject, will not have, plays, played. It should be played. Played is v3, the guitar is object. And will have gone to the temple. Subject, will have gone v3, temple, object. So this is how future perfect tense works. Subject plus will shall plus have plus third form of verb, that is V3, plus object. Moving on, last and final, we have future perfect continuous tense. It indicates a continuous action that we completed at some point in the future. I am here. This is the future timeline. This is event 1 that is starting, and this is the midpoint. This might be its end point, but even this might be its end point. So it's starting. I know it will go on. It will go on. It will go on. There will have been some ends in between. If I know about them, if I can say about them with surety, then I can use it with since or and add time to it. If I don't, I can let it remain, right? So the formula for this is subject plus will shall plus have been, because the process is continuous, plus first form of verb plus ing, because anything continuous cannot go without gerund, we already know, plus object plus since for plus time. So this is the structure of future perfect continuous tense, right? In the above example, if you see, he will have been reading the book since morning. He will have been reading the book since morning. They will have been writing a letter for 20 minutes. They will have been writing letter 20 minutes for and 20 minutes. So all the components are featured here. Similarly, I shall have been teaching you since January. Mohit will not have been playing the guitar. Will you have been going to the temple? All of these are examples of future perfect continuous tense, and it is written in the format of subject plus will slash shall plus have been plus first form of verb plus ing plus object plus since slash for plus time. And this is how you denote something that has been happening, that is going to happen continuously in the future. This is called future perfect continuous tense. All right, if we'll just look at it, have a quick look at it again. What are tenses? In English grammar, tense is the time of a verb's action or state of being. There are only three tenses in the grammar: past, present, and future. So if Vivan cooks food, it is present. If Vivan cooked food, it's past. If Vivan will cook food, that is future. Something that has already happened is past tense. Something that is currently happening is present tense. And something that will happen in the future is future tense, right? All of the tenses have three forms: simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. We have already talked about all of them. All four of them share the same four subtypes, right? And this is how all the sentences across grammar are structured based on tenses. So very important chapter. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, I'll see you across at the assignments part. Let's hope you get it done. Let's hope you score good in it, because tenses is very important. If you have understood it well and good, do go through it again if you did not. And if you still have doubts, you can ask them in the doubt classes. But tenses is very important. Always remember to be at your sharpest so that you can grasp it better. I hope the class was liked by you. Thank you. I'll see you in the next class.